See upon this is Sunlight Radio, and we are so happy that you've made time in your day to join us. As we move down our list, we're talking about friendship in marriage and all the things that we can do to strengthen and also deepen our friendship within our marriage. So we talked about help. The next thing is being real. Being real is almost like saying being vulnerable. Being real is being real about the issues, about how we feel, about conditions going on in our lives. Being real means that we are talking about things that really directly impact us, If you have a true friend, they will tell you the truth. They'll be real with you in so many ways. And in the same way, if we are in a relationship and we have to come to terms to tell our spouses certain truths, we have to have that boldness to do that. And if you are the person who a truth is being told to, or your spouse is being real to you, open up and receive it and learn from whatever your spouse is communicating to you. So let's learn to be real. Let's learn to see issues as they are and facts as they are, and let's address them as we go along. And this too will help us develop the deep friendship that we seek in our relationship. So being real is important. The next thing on our list is sacrifice. How well are you sacrificing? Sacrifice comes in so many ways. I think that we talked earlier about helping, which involves some sacrifice too. So when you help your spouse, it might be you might have to give up certain things. And sacrifice is, another virtue on its own. That it means that we have to forgo some luxuries or forgo certain things for our spouse because we wish for them to have them, or it will serve them well if they have that opportunity or that item or that thing. So sacrifices are very important, and it comes in so many ways. One way is you can sacrifice to spend time with your children so your wife can finish school, or you can sacrifice to work a little bit more to help your family through difficult times. You can sacrifice your time to spend time with your spouse. But sometimes it requires sacrifice because you might have to take time out of certain aspects of your day in order to make it happen. And sacrifices really do pay off. And to the person who's receiving the benefit of the sacrifice, it means a lot to them because they know that it's something that came from, a deep part of your heart, because you took time to really think about what you were going to do, how you were going to do it, and how you were going to extend that form of sacrifice to your spouse. So let's sacrifice in ways that we can to really show our spouses that we really care about them and we are enjoying our relationships with them, and we really want to take our relationships to the next level as we deepen our friendship with our spouses. Spending time, I can't say this enough. Spending time with your spouse is extremely important part of this. Spending time means that you are really being purposeful to do things that bring connection, that help you to get to know each other, activities that help you to discover each other in ways that you haven't done before. So, spending time means that you go out of your way to really plan activities around your day or your busy schedule to really engage each other. I've said often that as much as movies are great, if I really want to spend time with my spouse, well, with my wife, we will watch a movie, but I like other activities that will help us to connect after the movie. So one way is after the movie, sit and talk about the movie. That's a great way to connect, So if you sit and watch a movie, you're looking at the television and, receiving from the TV, except maybe you can, if you're at home watching it, maybe you can pause it and talk about it. That also deepens the time that you spend together. Spending time together is very important. If you feel that your spouse is there for you, your spouse is present, they really make time in their day to be with you, it really deepens your relationship and bring a lot of great friendship feelings. So we can deepen our friendship in our relationships this way by really making the time to be with our spouses and really spend time to be there as well. So the next thing is checking in, and I think that a few weeks ago when we had our podcast with the title State of Your Union, you can go back and listen to that podcast, The State of Your Union. You will be able to learn a few things from there. And we, just to let all of you know, we do archive all the shows on this station on our website, which is www.enjoylifewithyourspouse.com. When you go there, you find all the shows we've had here and others that wasn't broadcasted on the show. We do archive them there as well, so you can go and review them and find some other resources that can help you develop a deeper relationship as well. So when we talked about checking in with each other, we talked about it as a way of connecting and being able to put out issues, smaller issues before they became big issues. Checking in is finding out the mental and emotional state of your spouse. Checking in is slowing down to make sure that the busyness of life is not drowning your friendship. It's slowing down to say, how are you really doing? What is really going on in your life? Let's talk about it. Can you share with me how you feel? It's very important that we take those steps to ensure that we are doing these checking ins and not just let the days roll by and think everything is okay, just to find out that there are deeper needs and issues that we might be neglecting in our relationship that we have to address. So go back and review this resource that we made available, but it's important that you check in just like you do with your friends. If you have friends, every so often you go, I haven't heard from my friend in a long time. Let me pick up a phone or let me send a text message to check on how they're doing. It's the same way. You could be living or sleeping on the same bed with your spouse and not know what is going on. So it's important to check in so often. Sit down, make time for it, talk about issues that mean something to you. It's an opportunity for you to be a little bit vulnerable too, in talking about ways that you feel things could be done better. Of course, you do this in a very loving way, in a way that will promote friendship and build your union as well. So go back and review that podcast we did about 2 or 3 weeks ago. The title is The State of Your Union. I'm sure you will really, really enjoy that. So as we move on, we've talked about checking in. The next thing is overlooking mistakes. This is a hard one for all of us. We have to learn to overlook mistakes. It's almost similar to what we talked about earlier, forgiveness. Overlooking mistakes is usually things that happen that you feel like talking about it. Something happens that I'm going to start talking about this and it's not going to go down well, or it's going to bring up all these other emotions you don't want to deal with. So sometimes we just overlook them. It's better that way. This, it's not to say that we are in a way what is the word? Allowing our spouse to do things that we don't consider to be acceptable. We are enabling our spouse. That's not the point here. It's about, things like pet peeves that you can easily let go and not make a big fuss about. It's things that you can do. Maybe your wife or your husband said, I'll take care of this, and couldn't get to it. Overlooking those things will really help deepen your friendship as well. And, even if you have to talk about it, it should be done in a way that promotes friendship. We overlook things when it comes to our friends and the people that we care about. In the same way, we have to make sure that we do things that will help us to deepen our relationship by overlooking the little things that our spouses do, that if we tend to focus on them, could create issues and bring up things in our relationships that we do not want to deal with. So let us learn to overlook mistakes, the faults of our spouses. And also, in talking about this, it could be mistakes of the past. Maybe before both of you met, things had happened in your life or your spouse's life that none of you are proud of. And now that you know the truth, and now that you know what is right, it's important that each one of you learn to overlook those things, and knowing that you've worked on them, we've dealt with them, and we've put ourselves on the path of growing and developing, not only within ourselves, but developing and growing our relationships as well. And also, to add to it, developing our spiritual relationships with God as well. That is a key part of every relationship. So let us learn to overlook mistakes, the faults, the issues, the hang-ups, all those things about our spouses that sometimes sets us back. Let's not bring them to the forefront, and let's not allow those things to hinder us from developing a deeper relationship. This is Sunlight Radio Online. My name is Akwesi Apong, and we will be right back. Hello, and thanks so much for joining us again. This is Akwesi Apong, again joining you on Sunlight Radio Online. We are so happy that you make time in your day to join us. Today we have been taking a trip down friendship lane, I will say, friendship in your marriage. And we've talked about various things that we can do to deepen friendship and also deepen the bond that we have. We read earlier that, it's wonderful to have a friend, but if you have that friendship in your spouse, it even makes it special. So we are going to keep going as we wrap up this wonderful resource that we have. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it as we go, but just go to our website. It's www.enjoylifewithyourspouse.com, and on the tab that says e-booklet, we do have a resource available on friendship, how to develop a deeper friendship, and it's an activity-based book. So for the next 2 weeks, you have something to do every day. You can do it over a period of time. You don't have to stick to and say, I have to finish this in 2 weeks. You can do this, you can do it even one a week. That will help you spread this over 14 weeks. So that's a great approach. It's downloadable, so you can have this on your mobile device, and you can read it during your day, and really think about how you can take steps to really apply some of these ideas to help you develop a deeper friendship within your marriage. This relationship called marriage is one that we all took steps to make sure that we enjoy it, and it's important that we gather all the tools and resources that we need to help us to achieve that. So go invest in this little booklet, and I'm sure that you will pick up some tools. As we always say here, we're providing you the tools you need. If you don't have tools to use, or if you don't have tools with you, it doesn't serve you well. So let's gather all the tools we need in order to really develop the friendship that we need in our marriage. We do have a phone number. It's 240-772-1420. We also have an email. I know one of my good friends said, talk about your email, because some people wouldn't like to send a text message. So the email is enjoylifewithyourSpouse@gmail.com. It's the same name as our website, enjoylifewithyourSpouse@gmail.com. So thank you very much. And as we continue our discussion today, we ended by talking about overlooking mistakes. And the next thing we're going to talk about now is connecting with your spouse. I think when we say connecting, it's almost about similar to what we said about, making time. When you make time for your spouse, the goal of it is to connect. But connecting here means that you're being purposeful of doing things that will really help you connect with your spouse. Connecting with your spouse means listening. It means paying attention to their needs, connecting emotionally. It also means that you're being present. Connecting means that you're thinking of things that you can also do for your spouse. So connecting with your spouse is very important. You can also connect intimately as husband and wife. Making time for that is a form of connection. In our business of our day today, let's make time for times of intimacy where we celebrate I call it celebrating your bodies, or celebrating your marriage or your relationship. That's another way of connecting, and making that a priority and part of your marriage is a way of developing that deeper bond within your relationship. Let's make time and make it a priority to connect in our marriages. So one thing I also say about connecting is that think of things that to you means connection, because what means connection to me might not mean connection to my wife or another, within another couple. So if talking helps you connect, let your spouse know that if we talk, it helps me to connect, so that your spouse will do more of that to really help you to connect. And also find out what connecting means to your spouse, so that your spouse will make sure that they are doing the very thing to also help you achieve that. So connecting is a great part of this. Learn from your spouse, or learn also about your spouse. Learning from your spouse means that we all came into the relationship with skills and, ideas and things that we know how to do well. So learning from your spouse means that you trade off ideas, you share things that can help you be a better person, whether it's learning a skill or learning some good personality traits. It's always good to learn from our spouse, because the two of us are in it together. We talked about being a team, and in a team we learn from each other. That's what friends do. So let's learn from each other, grow with each other, and really build our relationship as we continue to learn from each other. So make sure that you're taking time to really learn. And if there's something your spouse does well in it, ask him or her, can you show me how to do this? Or can you help me learn this? And in that process to learn about your spouse as well. Because, we have friends who we know so many things about them. We know their car, the kind of car they like, or their dream home, and all the different things, especially if you're somebody who just got married, or you're planning on getting married soon. Learn about your spouse. It becomes your lifelong homework to learn about the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. We have to learn and gather the knowledge and skills that we need to really invest into our relationships. So let's put ourselves on the track to learning. So celebrate the good. Celebrate the good. I can't say this enough. Celebrate the good. The Bible tells us in so many places to rejoice and be glad and to celebrate. When good things happen, let us celebrate. When we see good things within our spouse, let's celebrate them. Because I've said too often that when we appreciate something, it appreciates. So when we celebrate good things and good moments, we get more good moments out of it as a result of. So let us invest in time to really celebrate the good that is going on within our homes, our marriages, and our lives. So many good things go on, but the irony is that we far too often remember those things that we do not like, and also the things that are not going well, that take joy away from us, and we tend not to spend time focusing on the things that bring us joy. So let us make time and effort to really invest in making sure that we are celebrating the good things. If I've always said, if your spouse gets a promotion or does well at work or something goes great, make sure you make that time to celebrate and rejoice and enjoy it and congratulate your spouse and be appreciative to your spouse. All these things will help us build friendship within our relationship. So there you have it. These are the 14 things that we can do to build friendship within our marriage. As I've said, you can go to our website, which is enjoylifewithyourspouse.com, and invest in the ebook we've made available with the same title, which is Enjoy Life with which is Building Friendship in Your Marriage. It's a 14-day challenge to developing a deeper connection in your marriage. Invest in that, and I'm sure that this will help you develop those skills and those tools you need to deepen your relationship. So moving right along, as we come to the conclusion of our show today, I want to throw out a challenge that, we're just coming off of Valentine's and we still all have that good vibes and that good feeling of connecting with our spouses. I want you to think about it. Let's not wait for another year from now before we do special things for our spouses. I know that a lot of people say, well, I don't celebrate Valentine's because every day is Valentine in my home. Really? Is it really Valentine's in your home every day? That's the question I want to ask. But as we go through the year, let's make sure that we do special things. We've talked about some of them today, going on dates, planning special things, thinking about your spouse, helping your spouse, learning from your spouse, and also doing things that will really help to deepen your bond in the relationship that you share. So as we work on these things, it ensures that we will keep working towards our relationship. We do well at our job because our supervisors and managers hold us to certain standards. We have to hold ourselves to certain standards when it comes to our marriages as well. What standards do you have? What rules do you have to make sure that you're staying within the path of growing and developing in your relationship? Because if we do this well, we are not just doing this for our spouses, but we are investing in our very lives, and we are also investing in the generation after us, because our children are going to learn from us. They're going to model good marriages and good relationships from us, and they're going to also enjoy their lives with their spouses. So thank you so much for joining us today. We're very excited. We hope that you will not only listen to this show, but all the other shows we have on Sunlight Radio. We'll be here again next week. Visit us on Facebook or on our podcast, which is Enjoy Life with Your Spouse, and join us, contribute, participate, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.